Hey everyone, it's that time of the year again where so many of our students are hard at work on their animation portfolios for college and university. And one of the components of pretty much every animation portfolio is this sketchbook. Even aside from animation programs, a lot of art programs in college and university want to see a glimpse of your sketchbook, your process work. For animation in particular, it's more about having a nice combination of observational drawing, so drawing from actual looking around in the world and observing something and trying to sketch that. And then there's also the imaginative drawing component. In this video, I just want to share this wonderful sculpture, this maquette by 3D Total Publishing to help students understand animal anatomy, specifically of this lion. And there's actually two other animals that they offer that are just beautiful sculptures and wonderful to study from. So there's so many incredible art books out there, both art books to take as inspiration and art instruction books. And I've reviewed some of them already on this channel. And art books are wonderful because it gives you some learning prior to even being accepted into a program that you can do on your own. You can read, you can draw from the actual drawings in the instruction books, and that's wonderful. But ultimately, any art book is only as good as the student that is studying from it and using it on a regular basis. Because unfortunately, that is another problem that tends to happen, specifically when students are very busy or knee deep in their portfolio and just don't have a lot of time, is that the books just sit there and collect dust. Now, I hope that through the many books that I recommend to our students, that I hope that they'll use them to actively study from. But nonetheless, the nice thing about having a maquette or a sculpture is that that is exactly what it calls the art student to do, is to observe it, and sort of make note of all the musculature, all the anatomy, and actually draw this. That is exactly what this is intended for students to do, is to actually move this around, look at it from different angles, even light it really nicely, and draw this from different points of view. And this would make such a wonderful component of any college or animation sketchbook that you might be compiling for any of the various schools you might be applying to, is to actually have study from models. This is a classical practice, but we don't see it being done that frequently anymore. A lot of the time I see my students drawing from people, buildings, cars, etc., from life. But animals, aside from pets in their house, are often, well, sometimes they're drawn from photo or video online, which isn't nearly as ideal, and not especially as ideal as having a model that actually has one side of this lion, and same with the other two animals that you can get from 3D Total. One side of it is entirely just the anatomy, and then the other side of it is with the skin on top of it. So the skin is peeled back on the anatomy side so that you can see exactly where all the muscles are. And the detail on these maquettes is just incredible. It's beautifully sculpted, and it's a nice material that reflects the light really nicely. So again, this is a wonderful thing to study from, that honestly there's not many other options to do this, to actually study animal anatomy so directly. You can interpret from being at a zoo or being at a farm or observing your own pets or other animals in your life, but the breaking down of the muscles and trying to understand how the anatomy works, which is obviously just such an important, a very integral skill for animators, because you want to understand how they move. Whenever you want to be able to draw a creature or a human or whatever that is actually going to be moving in potentially an animation, you need to be able to understand how the anatomy works. And in fact, where I studied at Sheridan College, an animal walk cycle was actually part of our assignments in year 2 of the program. So we had to do a lot of research on our own to try and understand how exactly the anatomy worked and what the structure of the body was, where the pelvis is, kind of how the shoulder blades work into the front leg muscles. So anyways, I just wanted to share this wonderful model with you because it's incredibly beautifully well done. It's almost all one piece. The tail you kind of pop on and then you put the model into the little stand. But it's a really great way to study animal anatomy directly, that doesn't force you to have to go somewhere to study it. You can buy one of these maquettes and study from it in your own house. And I think this would make such a wonderful part of any animators, illustrators, or fine artists portfolio that they could use for college. It shows a certain sort of nod to the tradition, the classical training that artists used to do, where they would draw from plaster sculptures or other various maquettes that were either sculpted or made from a mold. This is a great sort of modern way to do this, and one that of the animals that you have a choice of through 3D Total, you have a wonderful array of different animals to draw from. So I just wanted to share this with you, and I'm also going to share some of my drawings that I did using this maquette as reference, because again, unlike a book where you need to kind of look at it, read it, study from it, this is I like how action-oriented this is. You can just look at it and immediately draw it. You can turn it. You can get so many different angles just from a single wonderful sculpture. So yeah, this line maquette is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, now you can see me draw it.